Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our live stream. We are in a slightly different place from last week. Last week's live stream I did from a river cruise ship, and my laptop was propped up on a bin on the bed, and it worked amazingly well. But I am back home now, and I'm happy to see all of you in the chat. Nice to see you. If you're wondering what this is the sunshine. The sun shining at 5 p.m. Absolutely amazing. We have changed our clocks now. We're back in sync with everyone else, so hopefully this is summer now. Hopefully this is summer. Hello to everybody who is in the chat. It is nice to see you. Thank you, Richard, for my super chat. Half an hour before the live stream even started. Just got back from Oasis yesterday. 100% exhausted. No downtime. Yes, I mean that's quite a ship. I understand how you'd come back from that one and probably need another cruise to recover. Hello to Lou and hello to Sean. Thank you to my moderators who are looking after this chat for me. Sean makes a very good point. If you are asking me a question, can you start it with question? It just helps me to see what is a question and what is things, just people saying hi. Hello to my dad who's in here with the spuds and the spanner. Hello, Sean. Hello, Carol. Hello, Jonathan. Questions in here already. Right, I'm going to jump straight into the questions if that works with you guys. My first question comes from Carol, who's doing a cruise from Southampton to the Mediterranean, more than one country. Can you do the PLF forms in advance? Won't have Wi-Fi to submit within 2 days. I've found that almost every country I've gone to recently doesn't have PLFs anymore, passenger locator forms, for those of you who don't know. So I would double check that you definitely need them. Even if you needed them a couple of weeks ago, you might not need them now. And when you can do them depends completely on the country. If you're on a cruise where a form has to be completed, they will sometimes give you Wi-Fi to do it or a way to do it without internet. But most of them you can do in advance. Sometimes there's different rules if you're going on a cruise or if you're flying. So that's the type of thing your travel agent, the cruise line should let you know all about that. Carol's on Britannia. Very nice. Have a fantastic time on Britannia. Hello, Paul and Carol. Paul and Carol are doing a similar, not the same cruise as me, but a TUI cruise, TUI river cruise, 2 weeks today. So that's exciting. I'm hoping not to spoil the surprise for you, but I think that you guys will like it. I kind of went into this cruise thinking that it would be like a Marella cruise. Marella's the ocean portion of TUI river cruises. A Marella cruise on the river, and that's pretty much what it was. I think if you like a Marella cruise, I know Paul and Carol like Marella cruises, I think you will like it. And I think you guys have the all-inclusive drinks, I've heard, so I'm sure you'll enjoy that. Lots of questions already. My goodness, my comments are jumping down. Thank you so much, everybody. Lou says, is this a river cruise channel? This isn't a river cruise channel. I know, Lou, you probably would like that. And I thought of you so much on this cruise because there were so many Viking river ships. I knew that Viking were the biggest, river cruise company in Europe. I knew that they ruled the rivers, but it was something different. They have 76 ships, I found out. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And it was kind of like every time we went anywhere, we would see the groups of people from their Viking ships. We'd always dock next to them. We'd always be in the locks with them, kind of looking at each other. They always had the Viking umbrellas, which was very cool. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming to this live stream. I wasn't sure if the timing, the fact that this is a different timing would catch people out, but I appreciate it. Lou says, where is Hudson, the star of the show? He's very nearby. He's been up here for some snacks. I don't know if does this look fuzzier to you than normal today? I don't know. Maybe my webcam is just not used to the sunshine, but I am working on some other things, so it should look better soon. Anna was supposed to be in Hamburg today on board Ambassador. That is sad that you are not, but I would love to try them. I might do that at some point. I think that'll be a very interesting a video, trying a new cruise line, completely new. Steve says, visiting my parents over spring break and talking about a young cruise expert from the UK. And my dad responded, you mean Emma? It's so funny. It's so funny to me when people who, I used to work with 5 years ago, or old neighbors, people who don't know me from the cruise world come across my stuff, because I don't tell people about it really. And they'll say, I'm sure I saw you talking about, yes, that's me. They're never really sure about it, but it does make me laugh. Or it'll be, oh, I went to see my auntie and she was watching your videos, someone I went to school with. So strange, so strange. Oh, David is not feeling great. I hope that you feel better soon, David. Hope you are okay. What is your absolute favorite color? I don't think I have a favorite color, to be honest. Most of the things I seem to go towards are blue. I like blue. I like a purple, but then also, I think I like most colors. Best background ever. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. The link to this map is in my description. They are a company in Ukraine, and I think they would appreciate some purchases at the minute. So if you would like a new map, it's a very good one. PLF's for Portugal, says Keith. Yeah, I haven't been to Portugal in a while, but yes. Would you do a cruise on the Marella Voyager? Absolutely. I love Marella. Love it. Michael's going to miss my hair. I'm not. I cannot wait. I absolutely cannot wait. I really can't wait. I'm excited. I get questions like this a lot, like, are someone requiring this test or is someone requiring this form? And I can't answer it because it depends where you're going. And as soon as I've answered it, it'll be incorrect. You shouldn't take any advice from anyone other than your travel agent or the cruise line. I mean, MSC have quite a good section on their website. You type in where you're going, it will tell you what test you need. But don't think, oh, Emma said this, that's the rule. Because if I said it 2 weeks ago, I said it a month ago, it's probably not the same anymore. So only your travel agent and the cruise line. Don't listen to anybody else. Justin's taking his first Royal Caribbean cruise. I'm very excited for you. Justin loves Norwegian cruises. So I think you'll like Royal Caribbean cruises. I do. I put up made a quick TikTok, a very quick TikTok. I made it in a few seconds and it's had 250,000 views, which is crazy. But it was just of us going through the lock as you do on river ships. Locks are just areas you go into when they need to raise up or drop down the water level so that you go to the same level as the rest of the river. And it's close. Like, you can touch the wall. You can touch the wall if you want to. I'm not saying I have, not saying I haven't touched it. But you're not supposed to, obviously, because it's a big concrete wall that's moving. You shouldn't touch that. I don't know. Oh, I've just highlighted all the comments. That's not what I want. I can't put them all on the screen at the same time. Yes, Paul and Carol, you are going to love it. You absolutely are. Have you had a pleasant week? That's a nice way to ask. I've had a very pleasant week. So I have spent the week on board the TUI Skylar. We took a river cruise from Budapest to Budapest, and we visited Germany, Austria, and Slovakia. It was very nice. It was very nice. It was very much an experiment of what is a river cruise that costs this much like. I figured there was a reason that all of the other river cruises charge as much as they do. Of course, there's 100 passengers on there. There's not 5,000. They charge more normally. But I wanted to find out why. And I have found out why. And I've spent 3 days editing this video. And I am 1632s through this video. So it's going to take me some more time to edit it. But hopefully it is a good one. And I am excited for you to see it because it is an interesting one, I think. Had lots of questions about it. Would you consider making realistic Hudson model for you or as merch? There is a website actually where you can make like a plushie. This is the closest I have, which, my microphone just pinged off. Bear with me. He's put down my squash. This is the closest one that I have, and it's pretty close. This is what Hudson looks like, I think. It's adorable. But yes, maybe. Never say never to that one. I think that would be fun. Emma says, do you get recognized by your subscribers on your cruises? I do. It depends on where I am and who's on the cruise. Probably most recognized by Americans. Most of my audience are American. I know I'm from the UK, but Americans or people from the UK. If I go on a cruise and people are German or French, less likely. But yes, they do. Most people are very, very nice, very, very polite. And it's nice to see, I recognize smiley faces around the ship, which is always very cool. I mean, you do that anyway on a cruise, but it just kind of gives me that introduction to people. Are customs agents pretty much the same in every country, or are they meaner or friendlier? I think the scariest ones for me are the American ones. They terrify me, got to be honest. They're very, very strict there. But I mean, sometimes you go through customs and it's just They don't even look at you, just go straight through. The American ones do scare me, though. I've got to admit that. Yes. What is your favorite type of floor? What does that mean? I don't understand that question. Type of floor. As in carpet, or that's a strange one. Hello, Emma and the Spuds. Hello, hello. Kevin says grumpier in Canada. Maybe that is true. If I am not answering your question, it may be that I've seen it and I've decided not to answer it. So please don't ask the same question more than like 5 times, because I probably have decided not to answer it. If you ask once and I don't see it, assume it's just gone by. The chat goes very, very fast. I do my best to answer as many as I can, but I can't do everything. Lou says, smash that like button. Yes, if you could do that, that would be amazing. Daniel says, doing a Danube River cruise from Passau to Budapest. Oh, very nice. We visited both of those places. Any tips on things to do in the various ports? Please just watch my video that I'm bringing out next week, because I will show you each one of these places and all of the things that we did. We had an excursion in every port apart from the first one. So I hope that I saw the most important things in every single place. We had £120 of excursion credit on this cruise, and the walking tours were £15. So if we wanted to, we could do an excursion every day. We did do a couple that are more... I just saw a comment and it said, don't answer my question. Can I have my super chats? I can't see any super chats. If you have sent me any, I do my best to prioritize those, of course, but there's nothing coming up on my screen other than Richard. So yes, but yes, great places. We did an excursion every single day and they were good. We did a couple that were more expensive. We did a boat tour with beer. We did a city tour in Vienna. Very, very nice. I mean, you're going in July, so fingers crossed you should get better than we had, but I wish that I looked at the weather forecast further in advance, to be honest. Oh, David just got off of Valiant Lady. Not sure if I liked it. See, I've seen a lot of people on Valiant Lady, and it looks almost the same as Scarlet Lady. I like some of the changes they've made. They've stopped having black soap, which I think was an odd thing that they did. They've added more storage. So I'm sure that I would like it. I didn't not book it because I didn't like Scarlet. It's the same. So I prefer to do something different. Why do you think your audience is more American than British? Just because I think the size of the American cruise audience is like 30 times ours. I'm not sure how big it is, but it's very, very big. So it makes sense if you're in the cruise base, it's mostly going to be there. You do not have to apologize if you ask a question twice. Please feel free to ask it twice, up to like 5 times. But if you do it 5 times in a row, I can see the moderators in here who are looking after things, blocking people and deleting comments. Yes, it's not you. Trust me, it is not you. Rob has a question. Are there too many large cruise ships? I don't think so. I love the large cruise ships. I also like the smaller ones, but I understand why cruise lines would make a move towards bigger ones, because they make more money per person. You know, if they get a ship that's got 2,500 guests or 5,000 guests, they still need maybe a bit of a bigger buffet, maybe a bit more restaurant space, but it's mostly just decks of cabins, and they make more money the bigger the ships are, pretty much. So I understand why. Good question. Do you prefer river or ocean? I mean, if someone said you can only do one for the rest of your life, I'm going to pick ocean, because there's just more variety within ocean. I like both, but I'm not going to give up ocean cruising for river cruising. But then sometimes river cruising is really nice. It's just completely different. It's just like 2 things that don't really compare. The only thing that is the same is the fact that they're on the water. Apart from that, it's as different as like anything. It's just completely different. It's so hard to compare. 122,000 subscribers. Yes, congratulations on the rapid growth of your channel. It is a very good time to be in the cruise space. Everybody is wanting to go on a trip now, which is good. We've waited. If you were here through 2020, 2021, I appreciate you coming on this journey. It wasn't great if you were here. But everyone now is ready. Everyone wants to travel. Everyone sees everybody else traveling. It's a really good time to be in this space. It wasn't a good time to be in this space in March of 2020. I started in 2016, so I came through everything. But it is good to be on this side. It is very good. Are COVID tests done at the port rapid test rather than PCR? Currently got COVID. Oh no. Normally they're just the lateral flow tests, yes. Quite a few cruise lines are moving to just doing tests at home rather than tests at the port. I think in Southampton they've got rid of their big testing center that they used to have there. And for my Morella cruise, I've just got I've ordered it like a little box, and I do the test the night before. I think more cruise lines are moving that way, but they're normally not PCRs because it just takes too long. That's the main thing. They don't want everyone waiting around in the port. They did used to do them a bit, but not so much. Lisa said, did you feel safe with COVID? I assume you mean cruising when COVID is a thing. And I would say, I think it's 1 in 15 I heard recently in the UK has COVID at the minute. So I felt much safer on the ship than on land. Saying that though, I think if I was going to get COVID at any point, it would have been on the plane, because you don't have to wear masks on the plane, not the British Airways anymore. So you're in a plane. So I feel like that was the riskiest thing, was the airport, the plane. The cruise was fine. Statistically, some people on there had COVID though, because if it's 1 in 15 in the UK, then it just is what it is. I have made a decision. I did ask some of you guys for advice, and I appreciate it. So I was invited to the press launch of Celebrity Beyond soon, which is very exciting. And I was really looking forward to it. I've only cruised on Celebrity Silhouette. I've been on Eclipse as well, but I've never done a new celebrity ship, and Beyond looks so unbelievably cool. But the trip is within a week before I do my charity fundraising head shave, and I go off on the 90s cruise. And it just seems like tempting fate to go to an event with thousands of people a week before. And I would never forgive myself if I went to Beyond and I got COVID and I had to cancel my fundraiser and this 90s cruise. We first booked the 90s cruise in 2019 for 2020. Me and my friends, lots of my friends are taking their first cruise. And if they had to go on their first cruise with me that we've been planning for 3 years, but I couldn't go, that would be absolutely terrible. So I have decided not to go to the Celebrity Beyond launch. It means I won't be on there to do like a tour or anything like that. But Beyond will be there at some point. And this I can't move. So I'm going into hibernation completely, because that's my priority. What is the update on the fundraiser? We have passed $16,000 US dollars, which is absolutely bonkers. I think that's around 13,000 pounds, UK pounds, maybe. Crazy. I said 50,000 when I announced it as a stretch goal, a very, very big stretch goal, but I think we may actually get there. So that's very, very exciting. That is not until the start of May, just less than a month now. So very, very excited. The fundraiser is live on my channel. If you want any information, emmacruises.com/donate, and all of the links are there and everything like that. Do you ever regret giving up your job? I think I know the answer. So I met yesterday 3 of my friends. We worked together in the job that I left. Not for a second do I regret it. I feel incredibly, incredibly happy with my decision. It was a long time coming. You know, I started my website in 2016. I put in all the weekends, all the evenings for about 5 years. Hudson's coming in now. You might see him. Then 2020 happened. Obviously, that wasn't the time to leave a stable job. So I carried on. I sat tight. I built up a business that I can run while traveling. And now I do that. And Hudson is here. You can see his tail. He's going to sit on my microphone. Yes. Lou says, if you're on a phone, oh yes, you could be watching this on a phone, then stop the chat button, hit the like button, and turn the chat back on. That's a useful hint. Hudson is looking very comfortable here. Hudson's tail, yeah. Oh, he's very cute. He's very happy. I need to get like I could do this because you can have chats on, you can have guests on here. I could have a second Hudson cam, and we could have him like as a guest on the side. That would be very cute. He's keeping me warm though. What capacity are most cruise ships sailing at right now, says Steve? That's a brilliant question, and it goes from 20% to 80%, depending on the cruise line and depending on where it is. So the MSC cruise I took recently was at 23% capacity, but the cruise I took at Christmas was closer to 80%, I think. I don't know of any. Well, I think some are maybe heading towards 100% now, but the 23% was the really strange one. My river cruise was, we had 94 guests out of 150. If someone can work that out, that would be good. And that was a very comfortable amount. I don't know that I really want everything to go back to 100%. Hudson point of view cam. Yes, that would be very cute. I don't know if you can see his little ears here. Oh, he's off, I think. Oh, he's off. He's off. Oh my goodness. Jonathan is watching on a laptop and also on the television. Double the Emma, double the Hudson. Wow. Yeah, Lou says Carnival is aiming for 100. 40 cruises, over 100%. Over 100%. That is crazy. That is crazy. Ashley says, how do I become a moderator? So for me, an ease of me, I have added my moderators from the YouTube channel members and my Patreons because I know them better than, you know, everybody on YouTube. So that's where I picked mine from. I think we've got quite a lot of moderators in here. I can't see them running this through StreamYard, but we are going to want more for our live stream because we're going to get, you know, so I don't know if maybe somebody does not know, but I am shaving my hair off for a fundraiser for cancer charities in a month, and I'm doing it live on YouTube. So that is going to attract some interesting people to the chat, I'm sure. Is there any chatter across the pond about the upcoming Med cruise season, embarking celebrity reflection on May? As far as I know, everything is fine. Everything is good. Yes. Yes, 16,000 USD is about 12,000 pounds. Yes, I think that is what I said. That is what I had in my brain anyway. Might not be what I said. How can cruise lines return to 100% if they have to have the ability to quarantine passengers on other decks? I would assume that they're not quarantining passengers on other decks. I would assume they can't, you know, quarantine you in your own cabin if they have to. I don't know about that though. Most of them are not 100%. And even if they're, you know, it's available for 100%, that doesn't mean they're actually going to get 100%. Lou says, moderators moderating the moderators. Yes. I have got plenty of moderators. Yes, I wouldn't even do this without moderators. Jenny says, are dining options limited on river cruises? Is there any room service available? So, depends on the river cruise line, of course, but most river cruises are more fixed than ocean cruises. For example, on my TUI cruise, breakfast was 7 till 9, lunch was 12 till 2, and dinner was 7 till 9. Yes, that makes sense. And outside of that, no food. There was no kind of light lunch or snacks or anything like that. But I have been on other river cruises where they've had snack time, you know, in the afternoon. There wasn't room service on the TUI cruise. Some of the more expensive ones do. Some of the more expensive ones include it too. But TUI was very much the kind of budget, you know, that's why I took it. Budget river cruise option. My mum is in here. This is a question from my mum. Thank you, mum. And she says, please donate to Emma's charity head shave, even if it is £1. Every little helps. Yes, that's why I set my kind of crazy goal of $50,000 because I thought we have 120, what was it? Something followers here. If everyone does £1, that is an insane life-changing amount of money. So yes, if you have £1, it's not like I'm not going to look at that and say, why did they only donate £1? No, I'm very, very grateful for £1. Lisa says, is river cruising worth the penny? It depends. You know, I think the TUI river cruise I took was a really good way to try a river cruise and see if it's for you. It is not for everybody. It is absolutely not for everybody. And I know some people would be a bit bored by it, to be honest, but it depends what you like. I like the walking tours. I like the history. I like the culture of places. And I'm quite happy, you know, if there's a 3-hour gap in the schedule, I'm not bored. You know, I'm reviewing the cabin for my website or something. But I think maybe my brother found it a bit more boring, but he likes the big kind of ocean ships. It depends, you know, it's just completely different. It is all about you. Thank you very much. Down to earth and friendly. I like that one, Lisa. Thank you. No tea time on TUI. There was no tea time. No, they do advertise one afternoon tea per week, but it was on a time when I was on an excursion, so we did not get to do that one. I'm going to have my cup of tea. We've got peppermint tea here today. Back to the classic peppermint tea. Also on TUI, there was a coffee machine and a tea machine. You could use that anytime. It wasn't tea time, but you could use it anytime. And I would, we had kettles in our cabins, of course. So I'd pick up some peppermint tea bags there and take them to my room. And that was great. Isn't it lovely to see Emma's mum here? Emma's mum's here. Emma's dad's here too. Emma's granddad watches sometimes. Hudson comes in. Everyone comes in on these live streams. Are TUI river cruises all inclusive? Good question. Air, cruise, drinks, etc. like a Marella Ocean. They don't include all drinks as standard. I think one of the ships includes all of the drinks, or for certain seasons they do. But generally speaking, a TUI river cruise includes drinks with meals, beer, wine, and soft drinks. That's it. I booked it as a package that included flights and transfers. You can book the cruise on its own if you want. And at the time I booked, there was a £400 discount code. I got 10% cash back and £120 of excursion credit. So I did quite well out of it. Justin says, Emma, you won't get COVID. That's not how it works, Justin. I don't think it is worth the risk of me seeing thousands of people. These type of kind of new ship launches, it's a lot of socializing. There's loads of people I know there who I would love to hang out with, but it is not worth the risk to me. It is not. What's on your cup souvenir? It is a Princess Cruises mug. It says Princess Agents on the back, so I'm guessing it's like a travel agent gift that I picked up somewhere. Going on Iona, very, very nice. What is the best things to do on the ship? And did you see the gin distillery? The gin distillery is kind of a thing you walk past and you're like, it's a gin machine. It's not something that interests me, to be honest. I don't know if it does anything. I don't know. I'm not really into gin, to be honest. But the things you've got to do are the dome shows. I mean, see the theatre shows in the theatre. They're pretty good. But also see the acrobatics, see the lasers. That's what's quite cool about Iona, I think. That just dribbled all over me. Thankfully, Hudson has gone, or he would have got tea on his head. I do not have the lid on very well. We are on Enchanted Princess in May, but still can't book excursions, and Princess can't help. Any advice on what we can do in May? May is only next month. I would think that you would be able to book them by now. That's very strange. The only thing I would suggest is hopefully you've used a travel agent and get them to chase Princess rather than you. Normally a month's time, you can definitely book excursions. What is your favorite cruise balcony? Good question. I'm more of an inside cabin cruiser, as I'm sure you guys know. I have had some balconies though. I don't remember any being particularly different from any of the others. Most of them, other than the square footage, I can't think of any that were particularly great, to be honest. I don't know. I don't have an answer to that one, I am afraid. James says, if you have only carry-on luggage, can you disembark immediately? So normally what cruise lines will do is they'll have a thing that's like a self-disembark where you don't have to put out your suitcases the night before and you just carry them off. I do that normally because my suitcase is fairly small, and that means you can disembark at a set time. Sometimes, the reason I won't do that sometimes is sometimes the cruise line will make you disembark before, I don't know, 8 or something. And then from then on, they'll do the times. That's the only reason I wouldn't do it. But yeah, normally you can do that and it's so much easier. And it's easier for the cruise line. Like they're quite happy for you to do that too. If you're in doubt, you can go to reception and ask. I've done that before and been like, is it all right if I just leave? Normally the time they kick me out the cabin, I'm not hanging around. I'm straight out. I want to go home at that point. I don't like that bit where you have to sit around. It's just depressing. Cruise boys, we're at the muster drill. Hello, cruise boys. It is Josh's birthday today, so happy birthday to Josh. Spending it on a cruise, which I think is the best way to do it. Hello to you guys. Nice new logo here. Looks slightly different on my screen. Very cool. Paul and Carolyn here talking about their TUI River Cruise. So they have upgraded to all-inclusive on the TUI River Cruise. Cost us £266 for 7 days for the both of us. So that's not too bad, £130 each. I didn't spend £130 on drinks on this cruise. I mean, a Diet Coke was €2.50. So, and it was included with meals, and I had a kettle in my room. So for me, it doesn't make sense, but I know, Paul likes his beer, Carol likes her wine, so I'm sure you will get the money's worth out of that, and that's really not too bad. You know, if your bill for a week is £130 each, nice, pretty good. Hello, Cookie Girl. Hello. What would you do if someone called a cruise ship a boat? Push them overboard? I don't think I would do that. It's interesting with river cruises, though, because technically they're boats, I think. But the river cruise lines, of course, call them their ships. They wouldn't dare call them boats. But ocean cruise ships are definitely cruise ships. There's no arguing about that one. Do you think the prices will go up a ridiculous amount for the rest of the year due to high demand and relaxing of protocols? I think we've had this same kind of question and idea for about the last year, and we've always said maybe. I think the ships are just increasing their capacity. They're not all back at 100% yet. So it's kind of just matching out, and they want people to travel again. That's the thing. So I don't see the prices going up soon. The world map behind you, did you make it? I did not make it, but a lovely company did. The link is in the description. They're in Ukraine. Their offices have been destroyed, so they would appreciate it, I'm sure. If you do want to get one, the link is in the description. They're still trading from a different location, but they're a lovely team. I've known them for I don't know, a couple of years maybe now, so check out the link. Jenny says, do you know when Royal Caribbean will announce health protocols for Europe this summer? Still no info for our May Anthem cruise. Interesting. For this summer, I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. I mean, I would assume no new health protocols means we carry on with the same health protocols, and that's kind of what I'm just working on as a basis. I know cruise lines are dropping their mask requirements. I don't know. I don't know if in May they will do that, Royal Caribbean. Not too sure. We didn't have to wear any masks on our TUI River cruise. The time that I wore the masks the most was when we were in port, and it was so cold. I thought that my nose was going to fall off. I did not look at the... I looked at the weather forecast, but I didn't look at it for the full week, and it turned out it was going to get colder and colder and colder. Have you booked your next cruise yet? My next cruise is this 90s cruise that I first booked in. Well, I went on the cruise in 2019 and I came back. They announced it for 2020. So we booked it again for 2020. And I got some of my friends to come, some of my friends from school, some of my friends from work. And basically what happened is obviously the pandemic happened, and they gave me the money to buy this cruise, and then I just gave it back to them. And that was their first cruising experience for a lot of my friends. So that's why, you know, when they announced it for this year, we booked it again. I took their money again, and I'm really hoping that everything goes to plan. I'm really hoping that everything goes to plan. So that is just in Spain. 3 nights, Barcelona, Valencia, lovely. Be sunny. I've got my outfits ready. I did put a picture of my outfit on Instagram and stuff, which was quite funny, but I'm getting all the pieces of my outfits and I'm really looking forward to it. So that's why I'm going into hibernation ahead of that one. Looked at the weather forecast and it said 6 degrees in Vienna. Same, they didn't mention the wind chill or the snow. Yes, that's the thing. Maybe if you were in the sun, it wasn't windy, it would be okay, but it was so cold. Coming from me in the UK, you know, when it hit 20 degrees Celsius, we were out in t-shirts. I was sunbathing on the top deck in 20 degrees Celsius, which when I tell, you know, people from actual warm places, they think that's crazy. But it was nice for us. So for me to say it was really chilly, I promise it was really, really chilly. How do you feel about the added fuel charge being passed on to customers due to fuel shortages? I have not seen anything about this here. I don't know if it's a thing that they do in the US, but not in the UK. I know we have different kind of booking rules here, but that hasn't affected anything that I'm doing anytime soon. Not that I've heard of. Which cruise line is the 90s cruise? It is with Marella. It is on the Marella Discovery 2. I have been on the Marella Discovery 1. They're both ex-Royal Caribbean ships. So they're from Splendor of the Seas, and I can't remember what the other one is. 90s Royal Caribbean ships, which is cool. It's funny to me because obviously for my friends who are coming on this cruise as their first cruise, they're going to think it's huge and it's amazing. And I know it's really quite a tiny ship compared to the other ones, but I think it's a really good place to start. You know, all of our drinks are included, tips are included, flights are included. The only thing we have to buy is the little COVID test. I bought mine for £12. I think that's it. Travel insurance, of course, but that is about it. Yeah, Lisa says 20 degrees is boiling. Exactly. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. David says he was shocked with Virgin. This is to Justin, who's taking his first Virgin cruise after being a Norwegian Cruise Line cruiser. The thing for me that I would miss going from Norwegian to Virgin is the kind of entertainment that Norwegian do. I think they do really well the Broadway shows and the live music. And on Virgin, there wasn't really any live music on the cruise I took. There has been more kind of since, but the entertainment didn't always have a location. It would kind of just pop up when you were sat in a lounge. And I like my routine of going to dinner, going to the theatre. I like that. I know it's a bit maybe old fashioned, but I quite like it. So that's what would be different for me. But the included food on Virgin, there's so much more than Norwegian. I mean, I love Norwegian, but so much more, so much more. Oh, good question. My wife and I love ocean cruising, and we're thinking of trying a river cruise. Not sure where to start. Any recommendations on cruise line or destination, either here in the USA or Europe? River cruising in the US, very, very different from very different. The only thing I know about it is that it's very different from here in Europe. In Europe, I mean, the most popular river for river cruising is the Danube. I've done 2 river cruises on the Danube. I also did one in France. I'm doing one through Germany in July, which is very cool. But there are loads of river cruise lines with loads of ships, way more than you think, way more than you think. So have a look, I would say, to what you need included in the cruise. For me, when I look at river cruises, there's so many amazing lines, but they include things that I don't really need. So you're kind of paying for, include all-inclusive drinks. Some of them have all-inclusive drinks as standard, and I'm not really getting my money's worth out of that. On the cheaper end, you have TUI, you have cruise lines like Rosa. If you're cruising with kids go for free with them, which is cool. But then there's so many. There's Ama Waterways, Avalon, Viking is the biggest, and they rule the rivers. I don't think you can go wrong with that if you can afford that. Everyone's showing love for this map today. Thank you very much, guys. Guys, are we still on for you to be my guests next week? Because that was that I've penciled it into my calendar. Let me know, because that would be cool. But yes, thank you for showing love to the map. Yes, I've said enough about those, I think, today. Can people from the USA book with P&O? They absolutely can, but you have to book, as far as I know, either directly with P&O or with Vacations to Go. I think they're the only US travel agency that does book P&O, and then you just have to organize your own flights. It's quite easy, a P&O cruise. It includes gratuities. It doesn't include drinks. It doesn't include excursions, but once you've paid for it, that's about it. Yes, awesome. That is cool. I will talk to you after this live stream. Oh, any recommendations of what to do in the Heathrow area? It's always hard for me when I get questions about, like, what touristy things should I do in Southampton or Heathrow? Because to me, I've never stayed in a hotel in Heathrow because I have, but only a travel lodge or a Premier Inn. And I don't know, to be honest. I really haven't done the touristy things near where I live. I know more about, how to get into Barcelona rather than from here. I do have guides of how to get from Heathrow, how to get from Gatwick, how to get from Southampton to Southampton Port. They're all on my website if you'd like to look at those. But it's a thing. I mean, I need to do this. Maybe I should do this as research for myself. I get the what to do in Southampton question a lot, and I don't know because I only drive there to go on cruise ships. Apple or Android? I am firmly team Apple. I have my iPhone right here. It is never far away from me, and I love it. Absolutely. Apple. I have tried both. I have tried both for many years, probably about half and half on both, but I come back time and time again. I'm not doing this on a Mac though, actually, so that's interesting. What is your favorite UK hotel and why? Again, I don't really stay in hotels in the UK, and if I do, it's a travel lodge or it's a Premier Inn. I'm not somebody who's going to spend a lot of money on hotels because I go on a cruise. Everyone kind of stayed at home and did staycations through the pandemic. I never did anything like that because I could do a week cruise for the price of 2 nights in a hotel somewhere. And you know me, if I have the choice, I will pick the cruise. If you're on a mobile device like an iPhone, pull down the chat and hit the like button. Everyone's got like tech tips here, which is very cool. Yes, Emma's advice to book inside cabins and go on more cruises. Yes, absolutely. Oh, my daughter would like to know if you plan to do any more live trivias. I don't think so. It was very hard to do those for, I did a year of live trivias, I think. We did so many. And to be honest, the views went down and down and down every week. Everybody went back to their regular lives. I understand it. And it was a lot of work for me they'd always get half the views of a regular live stream. So it was fun, but maybe we will do it for special occasions rather than every single week. Interesting. Any cruise that all restrictions might be removed in the near future for Norwegian fjord cruises, since Norway and the UK have lifted them already? I haven't heard anything. It would make sense, wouldn't it? It is a bit odd at the minute. We're kind of in the in-between stages, but I haven't heard anything. I have got one booked, a Norwegian fjord cruise with Royal Caribbean, originally booked in 2020, then 2021, now 2022, but I haven't heard anything about it. This, James, depends, of course, who you are asking this question to, because value is completely different to everybody. For me, this is my business that I run, and the best value I can get is to do as many things as possible as cheaply as I can, and I love that. But if you're somebody who has 1 week off a year, 2 weeks off a year, I get comments all the time from people who have 1 or 2 weeks off per year. We get at least 4 here in the UK. But if you're somebody who has 2 weeks off per year, there's no point in you scrimping on things. The things that I'd say and the things I do, it doesn't make sense for you. It just depends on what you prioritize. And I'm in a bit of a different situation, of course. I think, if I can try a new thing, if I can go to a new place, I can tell you guys about it. That's more important to me than spending double the amount on things that don't really make a big difference to me. Plus, I enjoy things more, I think, when I've spent less on them rather than more. Yeah, Windsor Castle, of course, always very good. Tim says the rooms were quite bright with lots of windows. Did you feel you had to worry about privacy from people on the shore? I did see one lady completely naked during this cruise. I saw a man on my last river cruise just in his underwear. So this time, clearly, the universe wanted to one-up that. I saw a woman completely naked outside my window because, yes, I didn't worry about privacy from people on shore. Sometimes I would lay in bed and people would walk by. I just, if they want to look at me on my phone, that's fine. But it was more when the other ships docked next to us and you had a cabin next to your cabin. That was when I saw a lady in the shower. But that is just one of the things about river cruising. They don't show you that on the adverts. You picture people cycling along the river. You don't see this. But I didn't worry about that, no. The thing I but the thing that annoyed me was the glass walls on the bathroom. If you were creating a bathroom, why would you make the walls glass? And there's a video I put out. I shared it. If you're a Patreon, you've seen it already, but it's me like mimicking in the shower. I'm wearing my normal clothes, but I'm doing the motions in the shower and my brother's filming it. So you can see how much you could see through this glass. It's in my video. I've been editing it for about 3 days now, so it'll be out hopefully the start of next week. And it was something, I just don't think it's a good idea. I know it's very trendy. Lots of hotels have glass bathroom doors now. I just don't think that's cool. Yeah, Lou says the video is hilarious. I am glad. I didn't plan to make it a hilarious video. I just said, Max, hey, can you film this so I can see how much I can see in the bathroom? Kevin says video is funny. Thanks, guys. But there's clips of that in the video that's coming out next week. As your social presence has grown, are you receiving more comps and perks from cruise lines? I try to. I don't tell the cruise lines I'm going, and I try to fly under the radar as much as I can. It's kind of harder on a river ship when there's less people there, but I don't think anyone knew what I was doing. They just thought I was taking pictures of things. Like, I try to take a step back from it and keep myself to myself because I don't want anything different than anybody else would get. It is interesting on things like a river cruise though, because you get to talk to everybody else. So although my video review is my review based on my room with, air conditioning that didn't work and weird bathroom doors and things, I have 50 people's opinions in my brain from people I've spoken to on the cruise. But I'm actively making an effort to not tell people where I'm going ahead of time. You may have noticed I want to just show up and be just a normal person on a cruise. That's really what I want. If I could go back in time and do this whole thing without my face on it, and it'd be as good and the same, I probably would. You know, fame was never the answer. I did not. I suppose I did sign up for this, but that was not the plan. P&O have let us know for our cruise in April, we have a COVID test at check-in and not in the car. Interesting, at check-in. That's very cool. I think they have closed the Southampton drive-through though, so that does make sense. Have you ever had a smelly bathroom? I think sometimes I have on a cruise, because sometimes the bathrooms break and you can, probably I have. But not from me, just from it being broken, I promise. Do you usually plan and book your trips long in advance? Have you taken any last minute cruises? What's the best way to get a good deal, says Todd. Todd, that is a very big question. I'm going to try and answer it in like a few seconds. If you mean best as in cheapest, book it 3 or 4 years in advance if you can. As soon as a new ship's launched, as soon as a new itinerary comes out, that's the best time. If not, 60 to 90 days before, because everybody else has to make their final payments. People will drop out. The cruise line can readjust their prices because they know how many cabins they have. That's the very short answer to this. I am not somebody who's going to book a cruise 3 or 4 years in advance. No, I don't know what I'm doing 3 years in advance, and I don't know. So I will do, the longest probably I've done is 18 months in advance, and I've done about a month before. I've never done a really last minute one, just because of, most people just can't go. They've got other things to organize, but you can get good deals. You can't just show up with a bag at the port anymore. I know you used to be able to do that and get good deals, but you can do it, 3 or 4 days in advance still and get quite a good deal there. Yeah, I think they have closed the center completely, so that does make sense. I go to Legoland. That's a good one. Whenever anyone asks me what to do at Heathrow, I'm just going to say go to Legoland. Legoland is cool. Oh, Victoria made it. 4:43 in New Zealand. Oh my goodness. I did an interview the other day with somebody I know who has a completely unrelated YouTube channel. It's about mental health, but she's in New Zealand. So we had to try and coordinate a time that worked for me in New Zealand. And it was basically late in the evening for me, was very early in the morning for her. It's tricky. But thank you though. I mean, gosh, I can't believe you're still awake. What is the best cruise ship you've ever been on? That is a big question, a very, very big question. It depends. I really like a lot of the MSC ships. I like a lot of the Norwegian ships, not so much the ones with the go-karts, the ones before that. I like those ones, but I also like the really sparkly princess ships. I think princess ships are very nice, but then also the very exciting Royal Caribbean ships, the amazing ships like Viking ships. I don't have a best. I like them all for different kind of things. Relatable to a student. That's good. Thank you. When I was on one of my tours, they said they thought I was a teenager, and I was very, very flattered by that. Very flattered. Do you have any tips on Greece? The thing that comes straight to my mind, which is probably not the tip that you want, but don't put toilet paper in the toilet in Greece. In most of Greece, toilet paper does not go in the toilet. It goes in a bin that's by the toilet. And it's hard to remember if you're going to the toilet in the middle of the night, but that's my main tip for Greece. If you could go on any ship in history, which would you choose? I mean, I would like to have, because I stayed on the Queen Mary, I would have liked to have gone on the Queen Mary in the past, just to see in her heyday how that was. It's interesting to stay on her now, and she's not in a great state at the minute. She's kind of hopefully going to get some repairs, but it would have been nice to see her in her proper heyday. How about a US river cruise? I would love to. I'd love to do a Mississippi cruise. That's really high on my bucket list. That would be very cool. Can you cook well? Absolutely not. I cannot cook at all. I can follow instructions on food and that is it. I don't enjoy cooking. I find it's a chore. It's not an enjoyment for me. I do not like it. That tip about Greece is useful. I'm glad. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. I stayed in a not great place when I stayed in Athens, and yeah, wouldn't stay where I stayed. We had people kind of injecting drugs on our doorstep. They were very polite. They always moved out the way when we wanted to get into our hotel, but it was not the best area to stay in. Victoria just woke up. Oh my goodness. To me, 4 a.m., the only way I can imagine that is staying up till then, not getting up. Have you ever seen a famous person on your cruise? I saw, this is going to be very niche. This is going to be niche. But if you're from the UK and you watch the TV show The Undateables, I love The Undateables. Daniel from The Undateables, I saw on the Norwegian Epic, and he was doing karaoke, and he's a really good singer. I was too scared to say hi, but that is... that's probably the most excited I've been to see somebody on a cruise. US Great Lakes, absolutely, that would be cool. Yes, it's just not a cheap budget one for me to do anytime soon, but yes. Oh, someone had a prom on the Queen Mary? That is very cool. I can't see that comment, but it must be there. Aside from working, what is the thing you like to do most while cruising? Most of my cruising revolves around food, to be quite honest. I like eating when I'm on a cruise. Yes, that's what most of my days revolve around. I really like the entertainment. I like live music. I like going to the theatre, but it is all planned around the meals on the cruise. I love being able to try all kinds of things on a cruise. Someone else cooks it. You know, it's just brilliant. It is so good. Tim says, any tips for getting started in YouTube? The first thing you've got to do is just don't set yourself these crazy goals. Just sit down, press record. It doesn't have to be anything complicated. Look at my first videos if you want inspiration. Just don't expect too much from yourself. Your first 10, 50 videos are not going to be fantastic, but what is that saying? You don't have to be good to start. You have to start to be good. Or don't overthink it. Just start. Oh, yes. My mom says, what about those celebrities we saw on Britannia? We saw Kirk from Corrie. Yes, we did. We did see some Coronation Street stars. But again, I was too scared to say hi. I would do it now. I would do it now. Michael says, where is today's Britishism? I need you guys to tell me, because normally the Britishisms are things that you say in the comments, and you say, oh, that's very British. So, yes. Would you ever do a round the world cruise? 200 plus nights, says Chris. Oh my goodness. I don't know who I would go with on a cruise like that I wouldn't miss somebody else. So unless I took like my best friends, and what would I do with Hudson? He can't come with me. He wouldn't enjoy that. I would like to do 200 nights of cruising, sure, but I think I would spread it out over many, many years probably. Although if someone gives me the chance, hands down, I'm going. Absolutely, yes. Yes. How does the Queen Mary 2 feel compared to the Queen Mary? Good question. Worried my expectations are too high. So I only stayed on the Queen Mary for a night, maybe 2 nights. I don't know. My mum will answer this. She remembers better than me, because I didn't have my cruise hat on then. I was a teenager. I don't know what I was doing, listening to music, texting or something, but I didn't appreciate it enough. My video about the Queen Mary 2 is live on my channel, and it was brilliant. We had a really brilliant time on the Queen Mary 2. I have actually put together if you are interested in a comparison in kind of size and length and everything like that, I put together one like that on my my website. So it was interesting. It was interesting. My mum says 2 nights. Yes, 2 nights. Thank you, Mum. But the Queen Mary 2 actually isn't much bigger than Queen Mary. You know, in all that time, advert was a Britishism. Yeah, I mean, we would know what a commercial is, but we don't really use commercial. It's the TV adverts. Britishism is knackered. I do say knackered quite often. Yes, I was not knackered on this cruise though. It was quite good. If you're trying to blend in, does that mean you don't walk around with a super zoom giant camera? No. Have you seen my DJ Osmo Pocket 2? It is way smaller than my phone, and I don't walk around filming me, because I don't like that. I don't want to film what I'm eating. I don't want people looking at me. I just want to blend in, see what's going on, listen to everybody. You know, I'll often walk past reception and hear somebody, you know, saying, you know, I heard on the river cruise, people's toilets were broken, some people's luggage got lost. And I love that. Like, I love just being there, but I don't want attention drawn to me. No, I don't. You'll rarely see me in my videos. And if you do, it's, you know, me in a picture, or it's me in a mirror, me in a mirror. Have you ever run into anyone who is living full-time on a cruise ship? No, I haven't. I have met people who were doing a couple of months on the same cruise, but that's about it. Ian says, having just joined Patreon, there's loads of content. Where do I start looking through it, and how do I get the most out of it? Ian, I have emailed you a video just like 1 second before this live stream, just welcoming you to Patreon and telling you everything. So you have access to our monthly Zoom call, our Discord chat, our live stream. There's a whole feed of behind the scenes content. You can go back almost 100 podcasts if you want to. But if you need anything, message me in Patreon, because that's where I can get back to you the fastest. I will just after this. Why do you use stone for weight? I have no idea. I mean, we can work out the pounds from the stone. If someone tells me something in pounds, I have to do a bit of brain maths. But it's easier to say, you know, oh, it's 10 stone, 15 stone, rather than it's 100 and like, I can't work it out. I still enjoy assume when it is assume. I get so many comments about this, but I can't think of any other way to say assume. Assume, like that. Assume is, we would, if I said assume among my friends, yeah, they wouldn't talk to me again. A big curry fan from Canada. Very cool. Any cruises with a curry theme? I have not. If there is one, I will be on there, hands down. I think they announced this or something like this as an April Fool's Day prank, which is kind of mean. But I want to do the curry tour in Manchester, everything like that. Yes. Pool or jacuzzi? A pool, yeah, probably a pool. I'll go in a hot tub or a jacuzzi for a bit, but not too much. Gary from Tips for Travelers called our auction patrons punters. What is a punter? Just a person taking part in a thing, having a punt. You can be a punter in anything, I think. I don't think it's a very specific word. Which Premier League team do you support? I do not support any teams. Michael says 1 stone is £14. Yes. Brilliant meaning great. Anything can be brilliant. Like my cruise was brilliant, and I stand by that. It is nearly time for our live stream to be over. I don't know how fast these chats go. They go incredibly fast. But next week I will have Griff and Alyssa on here at the normal time, and it will be Easter. Easter's coming up very, very soon, so that will be very cool. Are you strictly vegetarian, and what cruise lines cater best for that diet choice in your opinion, says Todd? I am vegetarian, and I think the European and the British cruise lines hands down do the best job of it. It makes sense because we have higher percentages of vegetarians than the US, so it does make sense. Looking forward to watching your charity live stream and donating to a good cause, says the life of Chris. Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you everybody who has donated. It has blown my mind. Every single time I get a donation on anything, I get an email, and I look through them, I read the messages, and it is just overwhelming. I don't know what I thought would happen. I don't know, but I have to do it now, don't I? I'm definitely going to do it now. Question I saw: what do you eat at Easter? Lots and lots of Easter eggs. I can see 3 just from where I'm sitting. I bought myself a nice one, a proper treat. I've been eating Easter eggs since January, I think, but I bought myself a nice one to eat for Easter. As soon as Christmas is over, the Easter eggs get here. The big Easter eggs, the hollow Easter eggs, that we have a full aisle of in the supermarket. Very big deal. Paul and Carol say thank you for a great hour. You guys are very welcome. And Michael says, how do we donate in the US? I think the easiest way is if you go to emmacruises.com/donate. I have the links for each place there. It was quite complicated, to be honest, because I'm doing it mainly for a charity called Macmillan, who are a UK charity, and they only accept UK donations. So I set up a different link for everybody else, and then I'm adding together in my brain, you know, the pounds and the dollars. So emmacruises.com/donate, and the links are there. Very, very exciting. Or I'm nervous, not about the hair. That doesn't bother me at all. That's fine. I'm not nervous about the live stream because it'll be you guys, and I do these live streams every week. But it's kind of the I don't know, the logistics of everything, organizing everything. People from my real life will be watching. People from, all over will be watching. Yeah, so I am nervous, but I'm looking forward to it. I wish I could kind of set up a favorite all of you guys that are in the chat who I know, and keep that as a chat, not see everybody else. But I think we'll have subscriber only chat on. I think that's a good idea. Okay, guys, so it has been an hour now. Please head over if you can to that link. That would be absolutely amazing. And I will see you at the same time next week. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a brilliant weekend, as we would say here. Bye, guys. Thank you for joining me this week. Bye.